All right, guys. So tonight we're going to talk about content creation do's and don'ts. So, content can be really anything that you put online. It can be a post, a story, a reel, a TikTok. It can be a live video, a recorded video, just anything that you put out there that's not text only. Okay. So, this list I did get from Kristen Balls. And I'm going to skip over some of the things in here because when it was written for content that gets like boosted by the company. So I wish pharmacy would do that for us. That would be incredible. Maybe one day, but what it is like for instance, Launch. Okay, so I work with Launch. I make the content. They pay for that whatever I create to go out and be seen by more people. And we can pay for our Facebook ads to be boosted, is what it's called. I have done that in the past. It really didn't get me a lot of good results. But I don't know what Launch does. They tend to have it like down pat. When you do that, you can choose like the audience that you want it to show up to. So like if I did some makeup, I could do like I won't mind to show to women between the ages of 30 and 70, and I want them to be in whatever demographic area. Like you can pick all kinds of different stuff. I don't really want you guys paying for anything like that because I really feel like there's ways that you can get your content out there without having to pay for it. But the reason I'm saying all of this is because some of these things that she has suggested are only for paid content. And I'll let y'all know if it's something that's only for paid content because you can't do as much stuff with the paid. So these are do not do's. So if you have a notebook or if you don't have a notebook, we will have this replay available if you want to go back and watch some of the do not do's. Okay. Now some of these might be surprising to you guys. Okay. Um, Number one, do not mention prices. Okay. The reason why we don't want to mention prices is because we want to create curiosity and you want them to ask you for the price. So it's okay to say, like, if you get this bundle, you're getting the brush for free because they're still going to want to know how much it is. Now I know I've created graphics before with prices on there, and things are always changing in this industry. So we always have to just learn how to be flexible and just roll with the punches and don't be like, oh no, I mentioned the price. I did everything. No, it's fine. Like I will probably mention the price in the future sometimes too, but just like know that these are suggestions. Okay. Um, Another thing, do not mention your company. Now, I would agree with this. A lot of times, if people see that it's pharmacy, unique, any kind of MLM, they immediately don't want anything to do with it. But if they feel like they're supporting you as a human being, that's a little bit better. And so I want y'all to always think about branding yourself and like advertising yourself. This is what this business can do for me, rather than like y'all are paying pharmacy because that's not really going to make anybody want to buy. Um, the next thing, do not, and I'm really big on this. You guys know I'm big on this. Do not make income claims. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first started in pharmacy, I got really wrapped up in that because they were really telling us to do that. And to be quite honest with you guys, like, I feel like I wasn't staying true to myself when I was doing that because it's just not me, it's just not me. And also, when you tell somebody, oh, I made $3,000 in my first month or whatever, and you don't tell them how many hours you spent doing that, it's kind of like putting some false hope out there. And you just don't want to do that. You might want to say something like, I am able to supplement my income and help my family with medical bills or whatever, just be classy. Like, that's my thing. It's just we want to keep it classy. Now I'm not saying you won't get you'll get people, probably to sign up on your team by talking about your income. You probably will. But are they going to be people that think it's going to just fall in their lap? Or, are they going to be people that have the same passions that you do and stuff like that? I don't know. So when in doubt, keep it classy. Um, do not have charts that indicate making money. Kind of the same thing. Do not zoom in to faces or body parts. So, for example, it is better to do a video like this, and then if I wanted to crop it, I could crop it because the resolution would stay at its normal whatever. But sometimes think about it when you take a picture on your phone and you zoom like way in, it's like really pixelated. So if you zoom in first and do the video, it's not going to be as clear. And y'all, like, that is so important that we have good quality, bright pictures. We'll talk about that some more too. Do not have, so like so one thing that I learned on TikTok, and this is really helpful, you don't want to have like the Instagram reel thing and show it on TikTok, or the TikTok logo and share it on Instagram. And the reason why is because those platforms know that you're doing that and they don't show the video as much. I don't know how they know. It's some weird algorithm thing, but most of my videos I create on TikTok, and I'm just going to show y'all something real quick because I have some saved so I can show y'all on there. So this is a video that I have saved, and I was actually teaching them about lighting. And I was going to say something like, your pictures aren't bad, you just have bad lighting, because really that's what it is most of the time. So I haven't posted this video yet. There's a little arrow right here. If you hit that and then scroll down, there's a little button that says save. This is before you post it to TikTok. That's the key. You have to save it before you post it to TikTok. If you wait till you post it on TikTok, it's going to have that logo, and then you're going to have to go in some special website and get the logo removed. They have apps for it and stuff like that. But if you do it here, see, it'll just take a minute, and it usually says it up here at the top. Yep, save to album. It's done. And I'm going to save this back to my drafts, and it will show up in your photos. There it is at the bottom. So it'll show up right there. So then you can post it on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to post it, and it won't have that TikTok logo.
So what about CapCut?
So when I do CapCut, I don't know the actual rules for CapCut. I don't know if that's one that they filter out, but I do, when it says, do you want to post it straight to TikTok and not have the logo?
I don't post it straight to TikTok. I save it to my phone.
Does it have the logo on it?
I don't think I can take mine off. I think you have to pay for that.
So if you do the post straight to TikTok, it won't actually post it straight to TikTok. It'll pull it up like I just showed you, and then you can save it.
Okay.
So I would do that just so it doesn't have that on there.
Okay.
Let's see. And again, I don't know how much that really matters with CapCut, because I think they're both owned by TikTok. So TikTok might not care. I don't know, but I know for Instagram and TikTok, they don't like each other. If you're having a post that's going to be boosted or paid for advertisements, you don't want to have like music that's commercial music, because you would be making money essentially off of like your stuff's got Blake Shelton on there, and then you owe him some money and all this. Like, it just gets too weird. So you would have to use royalty free music. But most of us are not boosting our posts, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that is some don'ts. I'm also gonna add to this, y'all, and I haven't ever seen any of y'all do this, but make sure your background is not looking like a pigsty. You know, I mean, have y'all ever like watched a live and you're like, what in the world is going on? And it's not as much like we want to be authentic and we want to be real and we want to show up genuinely, but sometimes it can be really distracting and you don't want them to be like, what is that on her bed? Instead of like listening to what you're saying. Always make sure the light is in front of you, shining at your face. I personally, and this happened to me ever since back in like 2018. Y'all have probably heard this. One time, Ellie and Obi were in the background of my video humping. And so, and I'm just like, ga, and I'm just putting my makeup on, and I'm like looking, and it's so funny because the thumbnail of my video that like showed up is the back of my head and like them right there humping. So now I like to have like a wall behind me, and I do find that when I turn my ring light on, it seems to be brighter when it's like that closed space right there. So I like doing it that way. Do whatever makes you happy, but you don't have to have anything crazy like fancy or anything either. I would just make sure it's tidy. Let's see. Okay, this is something that I did not know. I was actually reviewing this stuff from Kristen Boss, and I saw this and I thought, huh, okay, we can do that. It says, don't talk about like, don't say you. Do you want to da 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 da? Do you want to da da da? Instead, share your experience. Now I was always taught the opposite. I was always taught saying like, do you want to make an extra whatever a month? Well, all you have to do is this. But what she's saying is it might be better to say, like, let me see why this is working for motivated moms with kids instead of, are you a mom that's motivated with 3 kids? I don't really understand like why, but I do like the idea of see why this is working. Like we already have proof that this works. It's working for me. It's working for my friends that are moms, my friends that are business owners that own multiple businesses, whatever. Like this is working for us and we can show you, then it's okay to say that how we can, help you to grow your business like this too. Let me see. Don't exaggerate claims, tips, or tricks. That is something that I definitely differ in opinion with some other people on our team. And that's okay. Like, I have finally come to terms with like I can be my own kind of leader. I don't have to go along with the things that other people are saying. But what I can say is Kristen Boss is not only an incredible leader and very successful businesswoman, but she's a very good person. And so when she says something, I listen, and I just really value her input. And so like we don't want to exaggerate stuff because at the end of the day, where is that going to get us? Nowhere. We can say, oh, you're gonna be walking on the stage in 2 weeks. You're gonna this, and this, and this. You might sponsor somebody, but how is that gonna feel when they feel like they were lied to? Like, it's not all about just getting these people in so that you can say, look at what I did, because these are human beings with feelings and families, and we want to do things the right way. We don't want to do any kind of false or misleading claims, as you guys know. Claims of unrealistic results within specific timeframes. I've seen this before, like other companies, like, oh, I've only been using the skincare for 1 week, and look at this, and I'm like, I know darn well you were sunburned in that first picture. and then your sunburn faded, you put some aloe on, and now you're saying your rosacea's gone. Like, again, that doesn't make, you're not getting people from the for the right reasons. And that's not going to make you feel good ultimately. Here are, so I'm going to go beyond the do's and don'ts. Let's talk about some different styles of videos or ideas, and then we'll talk about some hooks that you can use. So, testimonials, results. I think it would be so cool if all of us created maybe like a 15-second video about like, first I did this, then I found this, and now I feel like this. I feel confident, or I never could find skincare that worked with my skin, and now I have something, I found something that works, and it's making all the difference in my confidence, or whatever. It could be a product testimonial, it could be a leadership, friendship, community, anything. For me, my biggest thing is like, just I used to be a very, very, very self-conscious, like anxious person, and I would not like ever think that I'll be doing this. But because of this business, I've been able to like realize that I am capable and I can do these things. So those types of testimonials, telling your story. These videos are so important, and I would highly recommend you drafting just on a piece of paper your story. So, when I say your story, I don't mean like back in 1988, a little baby was born. Her name was Renee. I don't mean that. I mean, like, growing up, I never thought that I would be anything great. I really struggled with relationships. I had trouble with binge eating and anxiety and this and that. And you can talk about your how you found the company, what the company did for you. For me, being a Christian, I believe that like it wasn't the company that helped me, it was God, but he may maybe use the company as a vessel for me um to be able to do these things and to be able to believe that I am enough and I am worthy. Telling your story, and I would keep it 3 minutes or less. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't want to bore people. You want to say what you got to say and get it out, okay? That's why I recommend writing it down first. And then after you make this video, it's a really good idea to like pin that at the top of your Facebook page, your TikTok, your Instagram. And if y'all need help seeing how to pin that, just let me know. But you want that to be kind of that first thing people see. You could also do like an introduction or a day in my life or something like that. So people know who they're looking at when they come to your page. You can tell somebody else's story. You can say, oh my gosh, like, I want you guys to meet Loria. She is such a cool lady. She found this business through her daughter and blah, 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 blah. And you can just go into her story. I think that is so cool to do that. And I love reading like other people's stories because sometimes we feel like we're just posting about ourselves all the time. But really, what we do is so much bigger than just ourselves. So it's cool to share other people's story too. Um, let's see. Some hooks that you can use. Now, I want y'all to think about this when you are making a video. Not so much with live videos because live videos we know are going to be longer and stuff like that, but with reels and TikToks, like short form videos, anything that you pre-record, you need to catch their attention in the first 5 seconds. So, what you're not going to do is, hey, what y'all doing? Like, they don't want that. They want a reason to stay. So say something like, when I started my business, I was constantly overwhelmed. And whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna like exaggerate, like, and you're gonna feel so stupid, but trust me, like it's gonna come across more genuine than you just like, they're not gonna stop their scroll for that. Um, I love the idea of being in charge of my own work hours. The problem was I had no idea what that would look like. And then you can go into explaining what that would look like for you. Um, this one's another cool post. Like this would be like if you're gonna tell somebody about the training that we have in our team. You could say, tired of posting to crickets and getting ghosts whenever you bring up your business? That was me. And then they're gonna be hooked. They're gonna want to know. So those are just a couple of hooks. Guys, if y'all go on Pinterest, even ChatGPT, as we know, ChatGPT is amazing. You can type in hooks for reels for social selling businesses in the beauty industry or whatever. You don't even have to, it doesn't always have to be beauty industry. It could just be, part of what we do, because I think it's really cool to show this behind the scenes, us having our meetings, us doing this fun stuff that people don't even know that we do. I think that's really, really cool for them to see that part. Just a couple of extra things before we do our little work session. Um, it's better. So on Facebook, if you're doing a video, make sure it's vertical. They used to always want us to do it this way. Because when we did it this way, it would have like black on both sides. But if you do it this way, it's easier to crop or whatever else you need to do it. So a lot of people start with their content on Facebook and always do it that way. Don't have a lot of background noise. Like your TV or like my dog barking right now, which I cannot control that. So, sometimes we can't control it, but try to minimize background noise, because have y'all ever been on the phone with somebody and like you're on the phone, you're on the phone and you're like, you can hear them, but whatever is going on in their wherever they are, it's like so loud to you. It's like that on videos too. It's just like so loud, like almost like piercing. So people aren't going to stick around for that. So if you don't have a quiet place, you could go in your car. It's always great lighting in our car. So um let's see. Some apps that you guys might want to try. Um, we've talked about CapCut. Video Shop is another one, and Cut Story. Cut Story is where you might have like a longer, like short form video, and it's gonna cut it up so that it'll go in your story, because you know how stories only let you do like a certain amount at a time. So instead of like having to stop it, I hate doing that in stories, like, and hold on just a minute, it's about to cut me off. And like you just feel like it's just so interrupted and stuff like that. If you do it in Cut Story, or if you have a video pre-recorded, then put it in Cut Story, it'll separate it out for you. Okay, I think that's all I've got. I was going to share with you guys this 90-day content thing. And the thing about this, let me stop recording.